Hey, I'm Simon, and today I want to talk about trees in the small indie game Dark Mouse. If you would give an assignment to me, like make a swaying tree, but I am only allowed to use two sprites, it would most likely look like that. Maybe I would use the two sprites and do a frame animation, which you can see on the left, or I would separate the trunk and the tree and animate it like on the right. But if you then would say make it from top-down perspective, it would get a bit harder. So here you can see my first result, but it does not look very convincing, I must say. So now we are on the same page when it comes to how my mind was working when I saw Dark Mouse. As you can see here, the wind moves the two sprites around, but they stay aligned somehow, and the parallax effect creates perspective and a depth perception. Of course, it could also be just two textures on planes, but as far as I know, this game is pure 2D. It might be really subjective, but my first impression was that it looks a bit like two layers of leaves visualizing a slightly bending tree. Here's an example for better underlining my thoughts. I would totally understand if you say, wait a bit, this looks like the shadow of the leaves and not the second leaf layer. And I would be fine with that. I think it's a bit open for interpretation and I really like it. Either way, on the smaller planes you can see clearer that sometimes the upper and lower layer are very different, and therefore I believe it's a two-layered plant and not just a shadow. But like I said, I would be totally okay if you see it in another way. But I think it's a very nice idea, and to me it's fascinating how much depth is achieved by using two sprites instead of only one, like you can see here in my example. So I really like the parallax movement which is going on. And they have another really nice trick. If you have a big tree and you look from top down, the leaves would occlude the player when he walks nearby. And the obvious solution might be that you just render the trunk and get rid of the leaves, but that would make the tree look dried out. But the mouse game did it in a different way. Isn't that nice? Just the leaf shadows and the trunk are enough to tell the story of a leafy tree, but by not showing the leaves directly, you avoid that the player gets occluded. Isn't that nice? I really like it. And just a side note, some time ago there was a really nice article on Cosmonaut blog about the Tomb Raider game where you can see that even if you turn off all the shadows, the leaf shadows on the ground are still there. Because it seems that they are just projected textures on the ground and therefore still add nice detail even if you have no other shadows activated. That's it. I hope you like these little tricks as much as I do. And if you want to see more game art tricks, then feel free to go to my blog where over 60 other articles and sometimes also videos wait for you being watched or read. Have a nice day and see you soon.